One of the most rewarding aspects of the Buni program is seeing students take control of their own learning. A key part of that journey is teaching them how to problem solve. The challenge lies in encouraging and reinforcing that learning while simultaneously delivering the subject matter. That's why I introduced the Smart Home Kit. It's not only fun and engaging, but also helps students sharpen their coding skill, understand how technology works, and successfully complete their projects. This kit cultivates problem solvers, students who grow more confident as they progress through the lessons, actively seek solutions, and take initiative when something isn't working as expected. In doing so, they develop resilience and proactive approach to learning. Imagine controlling your home with a tab, a clap, or even a password. Today we start building that future, introducing the Smart Home Kit. My name is Elvis Munene, an IoT developer at Angaza Elimu. The Buni Smart Home Kit is not just a toy. It's a gateway to IoT and embedded system technology. It comes packed, as you can see there, and comprises of a total of 15 wooden parts, which we'll show in the videos. And also on top, we have sensors, actuators, ESP32 microcontroller, a USB cable to connect the microcontroller to your computer. There are several jumper wires and other parts that you'll need for assembly. The ESP32 microcontroller is the most important part of the kit. Microcontrollers are used in many of our everyday home appliances, such as microwave ovens, washing machines, and even some toys. You can find a detailed illustration of the board and the position of the most important components. Ready to build? The kit comes with a technical guide to help you assemble the Smart Home Kit. To make your development journey easy and fun, Angaza Elimu has provided 4 documentation that you can use as a guideline when creating or dealing with the Smart Home Kit. The first documentation is on the introductory part, and this lists some of the topics that students can be able to learn when they are working with the Smart Home Kit. The topics include computer programming, embedded system, electronics, sensors and actuators, microcontroller, and connectivity. We have also listed some of the projects that students can achieve when using the Smart Home Kit, including Smart Home Climate Control, Secure Access Control, Smart Window Automation, Intruder Detection and Alert System, and projects on the IoT platform. Students can create any other project apart from this one that have been listed, so your creativity is your limitation. And finally, we have listed the components that you'll get from the kit. It's just a list, but in the next section, we'll see an overview of all of this with diagrammatic presentation.
This is how the second documentation looks like. We have the component, image, as well as the unit that will be given to you when you buy the Smart Home Kit. For the microcontroller, we only need one, but other components might be needed, like 2 of them, for instance, the push button. So it depends on what particular item you are looking at. It also lists out the parts that we use for the assembly, part 1 to 15, the roof, the floor, etc. Over to the next slide, we'll look at every component in depth. Suppose you want to understand every component in depth. That documentation got you covered. So here you can see a component and a description of how it works. We'll go to the nitty-gritties, like talking about if a microcontroller has Wi-Fi capabilities or even Bluetooth, and the number of pins that it has, and other communication protocols like the I2C, SPI. So that documentation is more in-depth, and you'll be able to understand how the pinout of other sensors looks like. For instance, for this button, you can see where the signal, the positive terminal, and the ground is. Over to the next documentation that will have diagrammatic representation of the assembly bit. The last documentation is more practical and consists of a series of diagrams. You'll get to see the assembly from part 1 up to the last part. Every step has the number of components that you need to mount, as well as the type of screws that you'll be using. So this will help you to do a very neat job to place every sensor where it's required, and finally you'll be able to achieve every operation that is possible on the smart home kit.
Alright, let's get hands-on. We are mounting the sensors, actuators, and connecting everything with jumper cable. This is where your smart system takes shape. Watch closely as I set everything up, then work together with your team to assemble yours. Communication and precision are key. Once you are done, your system will be ready to respond just the way you designed it. have assembled the hardware. Now it's time to breathe life into your smart home kit. In the next tutorial, we'll program the kit component by component, eventually bringing your smart home kit to life. Subscribe so you don't miss it. If you're a hobbyist, tech enthusiast, learner, or educator, the Angaza Elimu Smart Home Kit is the perfect way to get hands-on with smart home technology. Build, innovate, and explore. Orders yours today at the link provided in the description. And for the schools looking to introduce students to real-world problem solving with Python and IoT, the Buni program provides a perfect opportunity. Register your school or science club today at the link provided in the description.